Hello, welcome to my first podcast. My name is Edith Delgado, and I am very excited to be here doing this podcast because it is a good technique for me to go ahead and learn. It is something out of my comfort zone and it's something very new. I usually watch podcasts by YouTubers and I get very entertained, but I never thought of myself doing a podcast. It's something very out of my comfort zone, but I'm very glad that this is going to help me get out of my comfort zone and help me open myself to new opportunities. A little about myself before I start. I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas. I am studying mathematics with a minor in secondary education at the University of Texas at El Paso to be able to pursue my career of being a teacher. Also, an interesting fact about me, I have two German Shepherds. Both of them are males and their names are Bruno and Newton. I enjoy drinking coffee, especially Starbucks. There is not a day I go by without drinking coffee. Even if it's not from Starbucks, I usually drink the ones that I make at home. Well, now I will go ahead and discuss my focus in my podcast and how I will stay focused on the topics I will be talking about. I plan to focus on the main topic of the discussion with interesting facts and topics. I plan to keep doing notes to be able to keep that information organized. That way I do not start talking about other topics that are not involved within the subject I am formally talking about. I plan to keep my audience attention by keeping a positive and interesting tone in my voice. I also plan on using different types of techniques to keep my audience interested by comparing real-life examples that happen within our community and our city with science-related topics. For example, when COVID-19 took place in the spring of 2020, many people were asked to keep themselves in quarantine in their homes, but many people did not listen, which caused them to get coronavirus. Scientists that looked for different types of medications to be able to solve the problem tried really hard for a year. This can be compared to different types of viruses and diseases we looked in science-related topics. Another science-related topic within the El Paso community is the vaccine safety as well, because many within the community do not want to put vaccines on their children, which is causing many diseases. It was recently announced that in the El Paso Children's Hospital, that there was not enough room due to the flu outburst that was going on recently in this early December. It is important to put the flu vaccine, that way we don't get sick and we don't get other younger people sick because they have their young immune system and they don't have it strong the way we do. What will make my podcast unique is that I will be able to add interesting examples and explain well topics. I will show my funny personality within the podcast to keep the audience more entertained. By this I mean like telling jokes, even if they're like funny dad jokes. I mean there is funny science related jokes, and I plan to be able to go ahead and do a fun podcast to be able to get more people involved. Who do I expect to be listening to my podcast? I expect students and people within the university and within our community to listen to what I have to say and keep them entertained and informed. I would also expect my classmates in this class to listen to my podcast. That way we can get to know each other a little bit more. I want my audience to be entertained and to also be informed about the topic I will be discussing within these podcasts, because I believe a person can learn very much just by listening to someone early in their day or later at night, or even within their day doing like chores or just walking around. So, I also want people to be able to go ahead and just listen to me so that way they can be very interested in me. I always wanted to be some kind of influencer, but I never had the chance to do it because I'm always very busy. I would also like people to ask me questions and also keep an open mind about the different subjects that we will be discussing in this podcast. I am very glad that you were here to listen to my podcast, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.